Hi everyone, this is Donny Lowy from Closeoutexplosion.com. I hope you're doing well today. I'd like to give you some tips on how to buy wholesale the right way. Tip number one is establish a relationship with a wholesaler that you're buying from. If you're going to go to many different wholesalers and at each wholesaler you're going to buy a small quantity of merchandise, so you might get some really good deals that way, but you're not going to develop the type of relationship that will get you to the point where a wholesaler will remember you and offer you the best possible deals. Another reason we should focus on buying from one or even two or three different wholesalers, but really focus your merchandise, you're buying, I would say, as closely as possible, is because by doing that, you're going to be able to also start buying in larger volumes from one specific source, and you're going to get a lower wholesale price. For example, if you wanted to buy 100 pieces of clothing, you went to 10 wholesalers and only bought 10 pieces at each wholesaler, then the wholesalers don't have an incentive to give you a lower price because they see you can only buy 10 pieces. According to them, that's all they see you buying. But if you were to buy all 100 pieces at one wholesaler or offer to buy all 100 pieces at that wholesaler, then the wholesaler has an incentive to give you a lower price because you're buying a larger volume, and the wholesaler will see that you are a serious buyer, and he or she will be encouraged to give you the best possible price. Also, when buying wholesale, find out what closeouts the wholesaler has. If you want to be able to maximize your profit margin, you're going to want items which you can buy at a very low wholesale and closeout price. So ask the wholesaler if he or she has any items from a previous season, any odds and ends, any samples. He might have gotten samples from a manufacturer. He might have gotten samples from another wholesaler, and those samples are just sitting in his warehouse. He owns those samples, so he can sell them to you at a really low price because chances are he got those samples for free. Even if you had to pay for those samples, he paid for a cost price for them, and he has no other use for those samples, so he'll be happy to sell them to you. Now, the wholesaler might have bought an item expecting to be able to sell it to his customers, and he or she wasn't able to, and now he'll be happy to just unload those items. Now, as long as you have customers for those items, you can make a really good deal and buy those items. Another way to buy wholesale the right way is to know your customer, because if you know your customer and you know how much your customer is willing to pay for an item, then you don't always need the lowest possible wholesale price. For example, let's say you go to someone's warehouse and you see really beautiful leather belts, and you know that your customers will buy those leather belts at $20 each, and the wholesaler has 100 of those belts and the price is $18 each, and he's not budging on the price, and that's the best possible price you're going to get. But if you know with certainty that your customers are going to buy those belts at $20 each, then just grab them, because you'll turn over those belts really quickly and make $2 each. Of course, make sure that the margin covers your other expenses. But the key is to know your customers, know what it is that your customers are looking to buy, and how much your customers can afford to spend on those items. On the other hand, you could see a brand or an item that your customer really likes, but if you can't buy it at a low enough price to make money on it, then you need to pass on the deal. Now, the more research you do and the more you can show the wholesaler that you're dealing with that you are aware of the market and you've researched your market, then the wholesaler is going to be willing to work with you because he's going to take your suggestions seriously. If someone comes to my warehouse and tells me that in their market they could only sell, let's say for example, women's shoes at $40 a pair, then I'll give them a price accordingly. But if someone comes to my warehouse and says, oh no, I just want to pay a lower price, then I don't really have a reason to give them a lower price. But if the customer explains to me why they need a lower price, and it gives me a reason such as they're trying to build up their business, or they have a lot of competition already selling their merchandise at a lower price, as long as they give me a credible reason which they could back up with their research, then as a wholesaler, I'm going to give them the best possible price to help them out. Alright, if you have any other questions or comments, please let me know. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. Have a great day.